Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 184. The album that I will be reviewing tonight is Tribe's latest and their final album titled "We Got It From Here." Thank you for your service. Released in 2016. For those, you guys should know who Tribe Called Quest is. For those who don't know, definitely one of the illest hip hop groups of all time. Musicians, that's all I gotta say about that. It consists of 4 members. Members are Q-Tip, the late great Five Dog, Ali Shahi Muhammad, and Jairobi White. Alright. I did a review on all their albums except for this album. I did a review on the People's Instinctive Travels and the Passive Rhythm album, which I felt like was an underrated album. The Law and Theory, Midnight Marauders, Beach Rhymes and Life, which I feel like is underrated too. And I did a review on the Love Moves. I thought it was another underrated album too. I know some people don't really like that album, but you know, I thought it was a great album. Alright, so it's been about 18 years since they dropped an album, and then they came out of nowhere and dropped this album right here. Alright, it was dropped, I believe, November 11th. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, so like I said, it's been 18 years since they dropped the album. You know, they came out with Love Moon in '98. That's when they broke up. And since then, you know, they came out with solo projects. You know, Q-Tip with Amplified, which I thought was okay. Had some decent songs, but it could have been a lot better. You know, there was a lot of filler tracks, and they was trying to go for that more commercial sound. Then Q-Tip came out with Come On Abstract, which was supposed to come out in 2002, but it was too abstract for the label, not knowing that a lot of people pretty much followed his footsteps when it came to making an album, because a lot of people tried making albums like that, but it ended up coming out in 2009, which I did a review on. Then he came out with the Renaissance album, which I needed to do a review on. Then Fife, the great late Fife, came out with his only album called the Ventilation LP, which came out in 2000, which I did a review on. Wasn't really too fond of that album. Could have been a little bit better. I just felt like the production wasn't that good in my opinion, and I just feel like the album was a little bit rushed in my opinion. I feel like if the album had dropped back in like 95, 96, or even 97, I think the album would have been fared a little bit better. That's just my opinion, but you know, it didn't, so we gotta take it for what it is. And Ali Shahi Muhammad came out with an album called I think it was called Shahi Dila and Stereotypes, I think it was called. I could be wrong of that title, but that album was okay. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. It was very experimental, you know what I mean? So, and then, you know, Ali Shahi Muhammad had a lot of side projects. He was working with, you know, Lucy Pearl and among other people too. So anyways, and after that, finally dropped this album right here. Alright, that's what the album looks like. The album features 2 singles. The singles are We the People, which was the first single, and they have a video for that, as well as This Generation, which there's a video for that too. Alright, that's what the album looks like. Pretty dope. Look at the back, pretty dope. Definitely has like that Low End Theory kind of vibe to it, you know, as far as like the look. Pretty dope. Open it up. You can see the Tribe logo, which was introduced on the new Low End Theory album, so you know, that's pretty dope. Open it up. That's what it looks like. Pretty sick. Alright. Pretty sick right there. Word. And what's cool about this is that with all the songs, you have all the lyrics. So I thought that was pretty cool. Alright. There are a couple features on the album. I'll have to read them to you guys. You know what? I wrote them down because it's kind of hard to read the features. Alright. So let me just, because I wrote them down like I said before. Okay. Busta Rhymes. What else? Who else? Andre 3000 of, or AKA 3 Stacks of Outkast fame. Consequence, Busta Rhymes, like I said before. Talib Kweli, Consequence again, Kanye West, Anderson .Paak, of Dr. Dre fame, affiliated with him, Kendrick Lamar, Katia Cadet, and Busta Rhymes. Alright, those are the features on the album. Alright, you know how I get down. I'm gonna go through some of the tracks. Alright, track 1 is the Space Program. Pretty dope song. Love how it sounds. The beat definitely has that, Love Movement feel to it. It's definitely sounds like something that could have been on the Love Movement, just based on the production and stuff like that. Very dope. The song is pretty much talking about how, black people still go through the daily struggles of America. Like, pretty much they still go through the bullshit even after the civil rights movement and, shit like that. And even after all these years, we still go through this shit, discrimination, there's still racism going on, stereotypes at an all-time high, all that kind of thing. And, they talk about the fact that there's no black leaders. We don't have any black leaders. Like, we don't have a Huey P. Newton. We don't have a, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Medgar Evers or Shirley Chisholm and, people like that. We don't have people like that in this generation, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Black Lives Matters movement is a kind of a gray area with that. I wouldn't even count the new Black Panthers because they on some other shit. You got cats like, Umar Johnson, but, whatever. I'm never gonna get into that. Al Sharpton, don't even get me started on him. Jesse Jackson, don't even get me started on him. I think the only person that could be somewhat has potential that I can see is Cory Booker, who is the mayor of Newark, New Jersey. Used to be the mayor of Newark, New Jersey. I'm not sure if he still is, but at one point he was. I think he has the potential to be like our new black leader. But you already know how that goes. But yeah, very dope song. Love that joint. Like I said, it has that Love Movement feel to it. I fucks with that song. Excuse me. Track 2, We the People. Love that joint right there. Love the beat. I love how it starts like with the synth bass and whatever, the synth bass and whatever, and the drums hit. Yo, that shit is so ill. I love that joint. It definitely has like the arena feel to it. That joint that you play in a stadium, like you about to get hyped up before a basketball game or like about to play sports. You listen to that joint like as before you start and whatever. Pretty dope. What I got from that song is pretty much talking about how there's a lot of people going through a lot of racism and discrimination towards against, like, i.e. the gays and people of different religion, faiths, i.e. People of the Muslim faith, people like that, gays and things like that. But what he's saying is that, once we're all one people, once we, stick together and then we unite as one, we are the people. And that's what I got from the joint, that song, We the People. Very dope song right there. And, they talk about, the police brutality and all that shit, things like that. So that's what I got from that joint right there. Track 3, Whatever It Will Be. Pretty much, like I said before, talk about the social injustice, that goes on today, police brutality and things like that. And one thing that song talks about is the the stereotypes that black people face within American society, not just American society, but just society in general, like the whole worldwide. Like whereas they think that black people are all from the hood. If they are, they're all prone to get into smoking weed and getting guns, like joining gangs and things like that. I'll give you a prime example. I had a stupid motherfucker, Bill O'Reilly. You know, I was watching one of his show, The O'Reilly Factor, and no, I'm not a Republican or anything like that. Um, I hate that motherfucker with a passion, but his show is entertaining. It's good TV. I ain't gonna lie, but he interviewed Mark Lamont Hill. I'm pretty sure you guys seen him before. He usually be on be on BET and CNN a lot and stuff like that. And he said something about, I guess, Bill O'Reilly said some shit like, people that were born in the hood are more prone to use crack and shit like that. Some ignorant shit like that. And Bill O'Reilly has a big following, and people actually follow everything that he says, and they follow, they go by what he says, and that's pretty much a prime example of what the song is talking about. So I thought I'd just throw it out there. So that's what I got for the song, whatever it will be. Solid World of Sound, pretty dope track that features Busta Rhymes. In that song, what I like about that joint, the beat is kind of laid back, but both Busta Rhymes and Fife, they're both rapping in patois. They're speaking in patois, but it's so dope how they did it. You know what I'm saying? And then Q-Tip, the way he was rapping like real rapidy, like kind of rapid, in a sense of somebody like a Missy Elliott back in like around like 97, 98, 99, or even Busta Rhymes in a song like Give Me Some More, like that delivery, that style of delivery. He was kind of rapping like that, so I thought that was kind of different, especially from Q-Tip. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. That Solid World of Sound, and what I like about that joint is like the nice use of the Elton John sample. Alright. Track 6, This Generation, which is the second and final single, unless they come out with a new single. This Generation, they're pretty much talking about how you have like some MCs of this generation carrying the torch of what the Tribe did back in the 90s. During like the Midnight Marauder era, the Lauren Theory era. They give props to like people like Earl Sweatshirt, Joey Badass, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar. Just saying like thank you for carrying the torch and continuing on that tradition and stuff like that. And that's what I got from the joint right there, This Generation. So I thought it was a pretty dope joint right there. Track 6, Kids, pretty dope joint right there. It features Andre 3000, aka 3 Stacks of Outkast fame. In the song, it talks about how kids need to be careful on what they do. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the saying, when a child is a child, kids will be kids. What was it? When you're a kid, you do childish things. But when you become a man, it's time to put away those childish things. I know I'm saying it wrong, but you guys kind of get the idea. And that's pretty much the concept that I got from this song. He's like, kids, they eat like candy and like eating bad and stuff like that and doing crazy shit. But then, as you get older, you have to stop doing that because that shit will catch up to you in life. Like where if you eat too much or too much candy, you might get diabetes, or if you eat bad, get high cholesterol, high blood pressure and stuff like that. And then you're gonna regret and be like, yo, like damn, I wish I would have listened to my mom when she told me to eat the vegetables, but I wouldn't listen because I was being hard-headed. And that's pretty much it's pretty much a message to the kids, like, yo, you can do what you guys do today, but just be careful. Let me turn it down. It's a little bit too loud. Yeah, sorry about that. But that kind of thing where like your mom told you when you was younger, like eat your vegetables, but you don't want to eat it, then you keep doing what you're doing, and it just catch up to you. So that's what I got from that joint right there, Kids. Track 7, Melatonin. It's a solo track by Q-Tip. In the song, he talks about the sleep aid, melatonin. People use that, to try that can't sleep. They try to get some sleep, so they use that. It's melatonin is all natural and stuff like that. But the center of the song is addiction, like how people get addicted to um, these sleep aids, trying to be getting too dependent on these pills and stuff like that. And he talks about how he got dependent on it and things like that. And once you try like one pill, like it works, but then your body gets the tolerance of that pill gets higher, and then you want to get more because it's like, okay, I took one pill is not working, so you're gonna double up the dose and triple up the dose and stuff like that, and then you end up becoming addicted to this shit. So, and not to say I have an addictive personality, but I remember one time, like, I used to take the sleep aids because I couldn't sleep that good because I used to work overnights and I had a hard time sleeping. And and then like, I remember, like, I had it was like a weird like feel, like when I would wake up all sluggish and shit. So I was like, alright, you know what, I gotta stop taking that shit. And then I should drink every once in a while. I still do, but I'll drink like the sleepy time tea. But I kind of got too dependent on that. I was like, you know what, I'm not really gonna drink that no more. And so what I ended up doing, I just started like working out at night and things like that, and then I started getting better sleep and things like that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what the song is about. Pretty much the center of the song is addiction, and that's what I got from the song. All right. Track 8, Enough, pretty dope track. I always felt like it was like a conceptual track, and I'll bring that reason why. The reason being is because with this song, they're talking about how they try to balance the love life, but with music and stuff like that and things like that. But also what I got from that too is that it's kind of like it's kind of like an ode to hip hop, but they're using like sexual innuendos, like kind of like how they like them making love to hip hop, but hip hop being the woman, but them making love to it. And that's what I got from that joint. Like, to me, it's kind of like pretty much like the song "I Used to Love Her," but it's like "I Used to Love Her," but more graphic. That's the best way I could describe it. And what I like about that song is, like, I like the use of the Bonita Appleboom sample. I thought that was pretty dope, very clever, things like that. Because Bonita Appleboom is kind of the same concept, you know what I mean? So I thought that was a nice, clever way of them using a sample. So I thought it was pretty dope. Track 9, Mobius, which features Consequence and Busta Rhymes, is only them two. There's only 2 verses. It's by Consequence and Busta Rhymes and themselves. What I got from the song is that it actually talks about how hard it is to be a hip hop superstar, or even a celebrity in general. Where as somebody of that stature, like a Jay-Z, for example, once you become somebody of that status, you can never be a regular person. So, people of that stature, you always have to be on top of things. You always have to be ahead of everybody, and that shit is hard. I can only imagine the pressure that they have to go through of, only trying to maintain that, new, just being above everybody and stuff like that. And it just, you end up becoming a lonely person because, it changes you, and then, you just end up having a god complex and stuff like that, and it's all crazy, man. You just can't be a regular person. I'm pretty sure those people would love to, be able to go to the mall, without people bothering them. But then you're gonna have people, always want to get their autographs and shit like that. Even when they eat at a restaurant, like, nah, like, I'm eating with my kids, like, can you wait till I eat? Things like that. So that's what I got from that song Mobius. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Let me see how much time I got left. Alright, still got some time. Alright, track 10, Black Spasmodic. Pretty dope song right there. In the first verse, Five Dog, doing this thing. It's just like a braggadocio track. But in the second verse, it's Q-Tip just kind of paying homage to Five Dog, just learning that he died and stuff like that. And from what I understand, I guess the day that Five Dog died, it was the day that he recorded. Q-Tip recorded his verse, so it was very fresh in his mind. So that's when he recorded it. And from what I understand, it was very hard to write that song and stuff like that. So which I can definitely understand that. And he also talks about how what he felt like Fife's final wishes would be if he was to die and stuff like that. So I thought that was a pretty touching track. Um, Track 13, the song features Talib Kweli, Consequence, and Kanye West. It talks about you know just the difficulties of what the war veterans go through, particularly the Vietnam vets. That go through. I'm pretty sure you see a lot of them on the streets panhandling. A lot of them tend to be older because of the generation that they came from in the '70s. And because the Vietnam War at that time definitely had it was a very controversial war. You know what I mean? Because you had some cats that were killing innocent people in the villages. Women, children, families and stuff like that. And it's like one of those things. One bad apple spoils a bunch, and that's the same concept with the Vietnam War. Calling them baby killers and all that shit. For example, if you've seen the movie, what's that movie? Rambo: First Blood, the first one that came out in 1982. Rambo was going through that. Is a prime example where he went to go visit his boy, John Danforth, I think that was his name, but he died from Agent Orange. He found out, so he was just walking through town, and then Brian Dennehy's character who played the sheriff, was pretty much saying like, yo, the way he looks, he looked like a drifter. Okay, he was dressed as like a war veteran from the Vietnam War, and so with the jacket and stuff like that. And a lot of them were getting a lot of hate, a lot of prejudice towards them, a lot of hate towards them and stuff like that. So that movie is a prime example of that. So I thought that was a great way of saying it, of showing that example, and the shit that black people go through and stuff like that. So, but thank God Kanye West only does the chorus, the hook. He doesn't rap. Thank God for that. So, but they all did their thing on that song right there. Track 12, Lost Somebody. Pretty dope song. The song is a dedication to Phife Dawg, but what's so ill about it is that it's more of a autobiography of Phife Dawg. Just saying how he was born to Trinidadian parents and stuff like that. Just pretty much how he grew up and how he got into Tribe. And yeah, sorry about that. That's my phone and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I got from that joint. It's pretty much an autobiographical track on Phife Dawg. So I thought that was pretty touching, stuff like that. I could only imagine how hard it was to write that song and stuff like that. Track 13, it features Anderson .Paak. What I got from that song was that it talks about people going through success, but as well as failures. And you in life, you will go through that. You will go through success, but you will also go through failures. But don't make those obstacles turn you away as the person you are. You are a strong person. You know what I mean? Like within every and it's kind of like the thing where it says whatever's in the dark eventually comes out to light. So whatever struggles you're going through, it won't last forever. In the end, you'll come out victorious, and that's pretty much what I got from that joint right there. That's moving forward, pretty dope joint right there. Track 14, Conrad Tokyo, features Kendrick Lamar. Pretty dope song. It's pretty much just talking about at the time, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton was running for office and stuff like that, and just like the disgust of that campaign, just them, just debate after debate, and it was just so disgusting, and like the political scene, it was just so bad. It's like the way they just trash each other, and it's just like no holds barred and stuff like that, and the fact that people voted for Trump and stuff like that, it was just like so disgusting and things like that, and that's what they talk about. And I'm not the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan. I think he's one of the most overrated MCs in the world. I know I'm gonna catch a lot of shit for that, but I don't give a fuck. But he actually did his thing on this song. He did his thing on this song. So he killed it. So, and he only had one verse, so I'm good with that. So, but he did his thing. So, pretty dope joint right there. And then they also talk about the 1% too, where the 1% is the wealthy, people like Donald Trump and Warren Buffett and people like that are able to enjoy the wealth and stuff like that, being able to buy everything with money and stuff like that, where the 99%, which is like people like us watching this, we would never get to enjoy those wealth. You would never get to, like, some of us will never be millionaires. We'll never be rich. It's just what it is. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If not, it is what it is. You just gotta keep living your life. Track 15, Ego, definitely one of my favorite tracks of the album. It's a Q-Tip solo track. In this song, he kind of breaks down the mind state of an egotistical person, people that is full of themselves, but he breaks it down so well. And what I like about the song is like, I love the beat. It just has an ill beat. It's definitely something that you would hear either in Law and Theory. To me, it's like a mixture of Law and Theory and Midnight Marauders, like just by the bass line and stuff like that, even the drums too. So very dope track right there. Definitely one of my favorite tracks of the album. Very dope. And track 16, The Donald, featuring Katia Cadet and Busta Rhymes. This song is it's called The Donald. Like I said, features Katia Cadet and Busta Rhymes. It's pretty much a dedication. It's a tribute song to Phife Dawg. Just them giving him props and just how ill he was as an MC and as an artist and stuff, and as a person too. Let me see how much time I got left. Alright. So overall, dope album. I fucks with this album, and I remember when when the campaign was going on with the election and stuff like that. It just made me feel like sick. Like I was just like so fed of watching the debates and stuff like that. But when I heard this album, that album actually made me feel good. And that's another thing with this album that's very different from the other albums, is that this album is very political. It's very political, and it talks about a lot of social issues. Even though they did that before, like the songs like Steve Biko and stuff like that, the South African civil rights leader with apartheid and stuff like that. And what's cool about that too, about this album too, you got to see a lot more Jairobi White, which I think was pretty dope. Cause after the first album, he kind of bounced and stuff like that. But it was good to see him back on this album. Overall, very dope. Production wise, it definitely reminds me of a mixture of the Love Movement, Amplified, and Renaissance. If you like those albums production wise, then you will definitely enjoy this album. If you didn't care for those albums, then you probably wouldn't like it. I know a lot of people trash the album, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Give it a chance. Listen to open ears. That's pretty much it, guys. Great album. That's all I have to say. Hope you guys enjoyed that review. Stay tuned for more. Alright? Peace!